Peace and love.
Niggas.
Negus. What is the language of origin?
Straight from Ethiopia.
What is the definition?
Definition, royalty, king royalty.
Negus. Could you use it in a sentence?
Kendrick Lamar, by far, realest niggas alive.
Could you repeat the definition?
Description, black emperor, king ruler.
Negus. Negus, Negus.
I love you, black man.
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 Peace and love.
I love you, black man.
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 Black man, I love you.
You're a black man. I love you.
I love you. I appreciate you. From this black queen to all my black kings out there.
Peace and love.
Robbie and I were at the biggest hip-hop concert in Houston, the Fresh Fest. It was nice and smooth, the DOC, and then they had Slick Rick, Dana Dane, Eric B, and Rakim, and NWA was headlining. I got front row tickets from a radio station I worked at, and me and my girl Robbie, we was front row center, baby.
Peace and love.
Actress and Hollywood personality Tammi Mac chats with me about.
Yo. Peace and Love Podcast, man. We back in this thing. It's a lovely Wednesday, I believe.
Yes, it is.
I am one of your hosts. My name is Emmett. You can catch me at EMCGEEE. I got my co-host in here today.
Come on, it's your co-host, bro. You already know where to follow me at. Bro, the producer number 4, business page, slap it or trash it. We in this thing, man.
We got I'm sure you guys are looking at the camera. You wondering what's going on.
Right.
If you saw the live, you was like, what they say? They got a special guest. We got a legend in the building today, man.
Right.
I'm gonna say the GOAT. We got the GOAT in the building.
The GOAT.
Today. The GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
We got Miss Tammi Mac in the building today.
Crazy.
Hey, Mac, hey, you gotta give it a round of applause. Yeah, give us some more, man. Give us some more. You forgot the ad, man. The radio personnel, the actress, would you consider yourself a comedian or no?
Everybody says it, but I'm not really a comedian.
Only reason why I say that because I saw you did some stand-up.
I don't think it was stand-up you saw. I was hosting an event, and a lot of times my hosting kind of translates into stand-up.
Understood.
And so people think I'm a comedian, but I respect comedians way too much to tag me with that.
Understood.
Although I did a project with Tiffany Haddish once, and it was a project about, I think it was called like Funny Females, or it was a reality show we were working on. Mm-hmm. And we were shooting a scene, and all of the women in the project were comedians, with the exception of Earthquake's wife, Robin Goins, who was a wife of a comedian.
Right.
And then there was like a white comedian, then there was Flame, who's the transgender comedian, then there was Tiffany Haddish, who was the, chick from the hood comedian, and then there was me, who was not a comedian at all. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm a part of this show, because I'm not really a comedian. And Tiffany said to me, Tammi, actually, you could do a nice 15-minute set.
Right.
Because what you do on a daily basis is hard compared to what we do. You have to come up with quick-witted, kind of short things to make people laugh. So, I wouldn't put that beside myself to say that you're a funny chick who could be a comedian. So I appreciated her for saying that, and for encouraging me, as opposed to women kind of side-eyeing you and rolling their eyes in the back of their head. She was like very encouraging. So, but I'm not a comedian.
So she say she's not a comedian. That's out of respect of what you're saying. Out of respect because you got comedians that's been putting in that groundwork is why you don't give yourself.
Yeah, because I've never done a full set on stage and traveled, the country or the world to make people laugh in 15, 20-minute increments or an hour, for crying out loud.
Gotcha.
But I have done that in acting terms with my one-woman show. So but it's very different because, I don't have to make people laugh. I get to make people have different emotions when I'm acting. But when you're doing comedy, if your ass ain't laughing,
right,
you know what I'm saying? You about to get booed off the stage.
Right, right. We want to get started at the beginning, but you mentioned the bag lady.
That was the one-woman show.
That was the one-woman show.
Mm-hmm.
We got some clips of the Black Lady. You kind of mentioned where the inspiration came from to do that. Kind of sharing like war stories with your homegirls. What got you up to the point to say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one woman show on, and what did you learn from that experience?
I don't know what made me do it, like what made me press go, other than it had been a thought. It had been a thought in my mind since me and my girlfriend caught a flight and we're talking about the men that we had been involved with. And I sat on those different monologues that I wrote on the flight for at least a year or two. And it kept surfacing in the back of my head, in my gut, in my soul. And so whenever something stirs inside of me and it keeps coming up, I feel like it's God. And so I feel like if I don't obey whatever that feeling is, that's making me anxious and that's kind of making me feel like incomplete, I feel like I'm disrespecting God. And so I guess it was God's churning inside of me that made me hit the go button.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. We got some questions for the bag lady. We definitely gonna get into the bag lady, right?
Okay.
But just because this is the first time on the platform,
Y'all my peeps, so I'm gonna tell y'all everything I wouldn't tell anybody else.
oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
We about to just jump right into it.
We
gotta start it from the
We
beginning.
gotta start it from the beginning, bro, because this is just what we do.
There it is. There it
Right. So you was born and raised in Houston?
Yep.
Texas.
Yep.
Texas. Okay. Now, I just want to know originally what got you started into radio?
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad had a friend who was a program director at Texas Southern University. Has a radio station called KTSU.
Okay.
And it's a jazz radio station. And it's pretty popular with the adults. So it's not like this jinky college radio station with a low power. No, it's powerful. And he said, I got a friend, because I'd always wanted to act. Okay. And my dad used to take me to auditions and stuff in Houston whenever they would come. It wasn't frequently. Right. But I guess he saw me wanting to be an actress as me wanting to be an entertainer in any facet. So he had a friend who was the program director at KTSU, which is Texas Southern University's radio station. And he took me up there, and he said, her name is Pam Collins. I'll never forget her because she gave me my first radio job. So he said, hey, this is my daughter, and my daughter want to be on the radio. Literally. That's what he said to her.
Wow, just like
Easy.
that.
He was like, hey, this is my daughter. My daughter is very talented. She want to be on the radio.
Right.
And Pam said, can your daughter read? And I was about 15 at the time.
Okay.
And he didn't answer. He let me answer because he knew that reading was my thing. My grandmother made me read books. And my grandmother would pay us, like when we went on road trips,
right.
My grandmother would pay us to read billboards. So for every billboard we would read, we would get paid, whether it was a dime or a quarter or whatever. So my ass was reading so I could get paid. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, McDonald's, cigarette, Queens Slim, Virginia Slims. I was reading my ass off on them signs.
I need that job. I need that job now.
That's
what
good.
You mean?
Yeah.
I read songs for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
But that lends itself to like parents really encouraging their kids in positive ways and things like that.
And everybody doesn't have parents who understand that route, because it is a route where you kind of like, I'm trying to have my kid make some money, not be, a starving artist. No kid, no parent wants their children to starve and be in a situation where they might not make it. So I think it doesn't have to be a parent that does the supporting. It can be anybody who recognizes a certain light inside of you. It just happened to be my entire family.
Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my entire family, from my mom to my dad to my uncle to my brother to my grandmother, my grandmother also told me, get your teacher certificate, because she always felt like I needed to be able to make a living on my own. And as long as I had my teacher certificate, anything. Even when I moved to LA and started doing commercials and stuff, my grandmother was calling me, going, get your teacher certificate. I was like, Mommy, I've been on the radio now for like 15 years. Like,
my teacher certificate.
I think I'm good.
I don't need no certificate.
But I there's something, I always believe that there's something that the old can learn from the new and something that the new can learn from the old. And so I don't disrespect either. And I did go and I got my teacher certificate when I got to Los Angeles.
Wow. I respect that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you a teacher too? Wait, I should have put that in the intro.
Teacher, actor.
I didn't know with a teacher, an actor, one woman show.
And I also went to college to get my Master's of Fine Arts so that I could, it's a terminal degree, which allows me to teach on a college level. Okay. So I did that out of respect for my grandmother. You know, I was like, well, she might not be wrong. I don't know if she right or wrong.
But I got it.
Right, but just in case she right, let me go get my teaching credentials.
She's a professor when she wants to be. A professor and a comedian when she wants to be.
So I got a feeling I never have to worry about not having a job.
Right. Right. Hey. So look, that was you said at 15. That's when your dad pretty much introduced you to
the program.
Now prior to 15, right? Mm-hmm. Did you always know you wanted to be an actress, or was it a career? Let's say when you was about 8 or 9.
No, I always knew.
You knew from the beginning.
I always knew. There was never anything else I was going to be.
What was it? How did you know?
I don't even know how I know. I literally don't. I don't know. Like, there wasn't a moment I just knew I liked making people happy. And it seemed like anytime I did something, I used to even try to sing. And I can't sing.
Right.
But I remember going to...
Turn singer, too. Can you rap, too?
I can't rap. Now, bro, don't play me. I can't rap. I can't sing. You. But I can rap. I can spit you 16 bars.
Wait a minute.
We're going to have to touch on that. Maybe somebody started to do that.
She probably got a 16 written already for the show.
You know.
But yeah, so I just found that anytime I was performing or entertaining, people were happy. Mm-hmm. And I just love seeing people happy.
Yeah. Right.
So that I don't know, maybe it was a childlike instinct, you know, when you make your mama smile or your daddy smile or if you're having fun and a good time, you want it to last forever.
Absolutely.
So I think when I'm performing and they're smiling and laughing, you want it to last forever. So that kind of puts in your heart, like, oh, this is what I want to do forever.
I think I can relate to that too.
Another thing I'm sorry.
Go ahead, say what you're saying.
Another thing you left out, man. I think you very modest about your accomplishments and things. You can cook very well. So we got a chef on there also.
Is that? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. Mm-hmm. What holiday was that? Was that you that did it? Because I seen some on your Snap stories. I seen
on my Instagram. Oh, on my story. My
Instagram not story. I don't know which one.
Okay,
they all the same.
Look, bro, I don't know either.
They all the same. I seen all the was that what was that, Thanksgiving?
Christmas and Thanksgiving, actually.
One of the two. You did the cooking that day?
Yeah, probably. I'm the only one that does the cooking in my house.
So,
okay. Yeah. It was looking delicious.
Delicious. Absolutely.
It was.
This past Christmas, I had a chance to pull up.
Yeah.
You know, and we trying to step up.
Wait, hold on, time out.
I can't take credit for the brisket because I think Not Your Mama's Kitchen did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Not Your Mama's Kitchen. The brisket was incredible.
So
everything else
you got a plate and you didn't bring back no leftovers or nothing?
I couldn't. You know, the way it worked out.
And I'm from the South. I got to send him home with a big one.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So she telling the real.
Yeah. She telling the real.
Wow. He didn't bring none of that back.
Yes, indeed.
He ate that the next day, the day after. That's gone.
Yeah, it didn't even make it.
I didn't even see what the
man
man's plate looked like. I don't even know what was on his plate.
Good.
Man.
Let me ask you this. Your brother told me something about being the holidays, you know, people reminiscing and things.
Uh-huh.
He said, man, growing
You
up.
talk to my brother. Hold on now. Wait a minute. What my brother say?
we gonna get it.
Hold on now.
Crazy.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Y'all getting all in my brother.
Yeah. You know, he done told me some things, you know.
Okay, what my brother say?
Just speaking of, you know what you wanted to do when you was younger.
Mm-hmm.
He said around the holidays, Christmas time, namely, I think he said, you would wake up and do the Tammi Mac show.
Yeah, every Christmas, I would stay, because, you get out of school for Christmas holidays.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I would stay with my great-grandparents, who when my mom went off to college, they kept me for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And according to my mama, when I called her baby sister, she was like, "Oh hell no, you coming back to college with me?" So apparently I didn't call her mama, and she was like, "Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping her, but I got it from here."
Right.
But I stayed with my great grandparents, and during the holidays, and like my love, my hero, my love of my life, my everything is my great grandfather. We did everything together. That man was so supportive of everything I did, and every Christmas he would make the entire family sit down and watch the Tammy show. And I would make, and I knew that we had the Tammi Mac show coming on Christmas, so we had like harsh rehearsals up until Christmas Day, me and my brother. And I know he got sick of me because I would be like, "You want to be in front of the family and mess up and look stupid? You better learn this song." We had whole routines. I mean, we were Donnie and Marie in that piece.
And you
know
orchestrated
what I mean?
the whole.
I orchestrated the whole thing, and my poor brother had to follow right along, whether he wanted to or not. And and I did it from probably the time he was born. I don't know. I can't remember not doing it. I did the Tammi Mac show all the way until I graduated from college, which is when my grandfather died, I think. It's when my grandmother died. My great grandmother died. So I think that's when I did it up until like I wrapped up college. So that was a long time to do the Tammi Mac show. I mean, it was the Tammy show, and he would make everybody sit down and watch, and you had to shut up, and the TV went off, and like everybody had to be quiet. He was serious, and the whole family was there.
That's some dope
And
support.
yeah, I would just haze my poor brother.
Wait, so what did the show consist of? What,
Singing, dancing, acting. I remember we did a routine to Lionel Richie's, what's the song Lionel Richie's, I think it's All Night Long.
All night long.
Yeah. Cambodito se te mate. Hey, jumbo, jumbo. Yeah, we had a little routine to All Night Long. Every year was something new. You know, I planned it, I prepared it. You know, as I grew, my show grew, you know what I mean? So,
Right. Do you remember
it
the
got
last?
better and better.
You remember what the last show was?
I don't. I have no idea what the last show was. I remember doing a monologue, maybe, or something like that. Because by that time, my brother was like, "I ain't doing this shit no more."
He over it. Okay, he older now. He old
So
now.
I was on my own at some point.
So you had the one woman show. You had the Tammi Mac show since the beginning of time, is what it sounds like, right? You always knew you wanted to be an actress. So outside of the show and then like performing for your own family, did you ever perform in any like plays or any high school, anything like that, or junior high or elementary high? Elementary school.
I'm actually I'm all-state theatrical performer in the state of Texas. So I won 2 state championships. Acting in Texas. And
I didn't even know they had what?
Yeah, they have championships for theater, and you compete with. Oh man, I get the horns for that one.
All the people winning acting championships. You know? Kobe out here, right?
Yeah, you know, I'm Kobe in the theater world, baby. I'm slam dunking them.
She got you all the time. Wait. You got, what was the awards again? Say that again.
It was a all-state champion.
So you got 2 of them?
I don't even know how many. I don't know. I have a ton of trophies from high school. Like, I don't even know where they are now because one competition I won 8 trophies.
God dang.
And I remember it was at Prairie View University. We went to competition at Prairie View.
Yeah. And
I won 8 trophies that day, and I gave all 8 of them to my great grandfather. And I don't know. I won a lot in high school.
You got NAACP awards too, right?
Yeah, that was more recently than high school though.
Yeah, you got 3 of those, right? Those for theater too.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's only a matter of time before you're gonna be starring in movies and all of that. Is what you saying?
From your mouth to God's ears, as they say. I don't know because
Well,
my route
I
has
got the hook up too already too.
I will.
Movie. She was on Star all kind of stuff already.
Yeah, that's
we just wait for the Star roll. Stop playing. I do my homework, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do
I was, and I got the hook up too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see me or not in it, but they say I was in it.
Okay,
Lunell told me I was in it.
Yeah.
That's what it say.
I,
You was in
I
it.
shot it over there at the J spot.
Yeah.
On with me and Master P was in the scene together. So I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
You don't know. You don't
Yeah.
even know if your scene made the cut. Is what you're saying.
Well, some people told me that they saw me in it,
Yeah.
and then some people say I was looking at the movie, but I didn't see you in it. So one of the producers told me it was my scene was in the credits. So you know how when they do
Oh,
the
I
credits
get
and they
you.
do the closing credits, like the clips and stuff like that. So that's probably where it is. But
Gotcha.
shouts out to Master P for giving for just handing me that role. He was like, "What you want to do?"
That's cool.
That's simple.
He was like, "What you want to do?"
But that's relationships. That's the power of relationships.
Right. That's
So I
awesome.
was like, well, let me I'll be a customer
Yeah.
coming in mad about my food, and he was like, nah, we can't do that because it's a black-owned restaurant, and we can't let people think that the black-owned restaurant got bad food.
Yeah. But shout out to P for that. That's smart. That's
Shout
smart.
out to Master P for that.
Absolutely.
One.
So
Understood.
yeah, we chopped it up, figured out what we was gonna do together, and we did it. And he was cool.
I just seen Master P just walking down the street on Imperial and Hawthorne just randomly at the dairy, bro. Master P he local. He walking around like a
Yeah,
regular
he's very
dude.
local.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
he's local. I'm like, I had to double take. I didn't know if
He
this
pulled up
Master
on
P
me at
for
the
real?
radio station one day because I had said something that he didn't like. And just pulled up.
What you say?
And he didn't. What did I say? I don't know really. I don't remember. But apparently we were talking about something about his kids and his wife.
Yep.
And word got back to him that we were talking about him, but he'd never heard of KJLH because he's not from LA.
Right.
So he told me, I thought it was Big Boy, and I was like, man, I didn't know. Why would Big Boy do that? That's my boy. He's like, I don't even know who y'all are. I'm like, but you pulled up.
Yeah.
Right. How did he? That's what I. Right.
You pulled up, and you pulled up mad.
What did he say when he just hopped out going crazy? Or
Yeah,
what?
he hopped out. They let him in, and he was like, and I don't appreciate you. And I was like, I didn't even say nothing. At the time, it was my co-host doing all the talking.
And what's interesting is easy to talk crazy behind a microphone when you ain't got to
Yeah.
deal with nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to check yourself with that. Have you ever had another experience like that where you was talking about somebody on a microphone? and you
Dietrich
had to-
Hatton.
Really?
Dietrich Hatton called on the hotline because he was on a reality show, and I think I don't know if it was his fiance. I don't know what her title was at the time, but I think she maybe had gotten pregnant or something. And I think I said something on the air about it in some way. I don't remember the circumstances, so I don't want to repeat it because then they'll be mad at me.
Right. It'll be hashed.
Because I got it all wrong. But he called on the hotline and was like, "How dare you?" Say that you don't even know what it was, and they edit the shows and they do this. I said, well, you can't be mad at me if I'm looking at edited versions of what's on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you signed up for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know you. No, I don't know your wife, but I know y'all got a reality show that says
Exactly.
reality.
Exactly.
So
Right.
my assumption is that it's real.
Exactly.
So you telling me it's fake? Like let's talk about it. I'm good. So I mean, yeah, people get mad. People pull up on me. People say stuff, but I actually appreciate it more when people come to me and say, "Hey, why'd you say that?" or "Why'd you do that?" So we can have a real honest conversation.
Yeah.
But if you just coming at me because you mad, I don't know how. I don't know how we're going to resolve anything. I don't how you're gonna get in a pot. Because if you come to me mad, man, I'm not about to apologize to you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just
I'm
humiliation.
happy I said whatever the hell I said.
Right.
So,
yeah.
but if you coming to me and you really want to understand, well, why did you say that? And what were your thoughts? If you really want to have a real conversation, I'm so open to that. And I'm not above or beyond apologizing to people when I feel like I've done something wrong.
Got you.
Most people don't like to apologize, but I
This is
feel like
true.
I want my soul to be right with God.
Right.
And so if I'm genuinely wrong, I will apologize, but I'm not going to be punked either. I ain't no punk.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and everybody know where I am from 3 to 7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it ain't like you can't find me or get in touch with me. It's easy as 520-5554. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm answering phones all day from 3 to 7.
Yes,
so you
indeed.
can call me. You can call the receptionist and be like, let me holler at Tammi Mac. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So if you got a problem with me and you feel like I've done you wrong or your family members wrong or whatever, holler at me. Let's talk about it.
So I guess it's safe to say that you and Master P squashed it. Did you get the role after he had the issue, or that was before?
It was way after. I think
so y'all
when
squashed
it happened, it might have been 6 years prior to or something like that.
Oh, that was a minute ago.
Maybe 5. I don't even know if he remembered, but some people tell me no, he remember. He doesn't forget anything. So, but I mean, there was no beef between the two of us.
Gotcha.
You know, I moved on, he moved on, and we did. He let me shoot his movie and do a scene with him.
Well,
So
y'all squashed
it was
that.
all good.
What about what was up with? See, I caught pieces of that. What was going on with the whole Dame Dash situation? He seemed like he walked into the studio just mad at something. I don't know what was wrong with Dame.
Look, I think we all know Dame Dash has personal issues. He has financial issues, and he has apparently some mental issues as well. And so I don't really want to get into all of that, because when somebody has issues that deep seated, you really don't want to judge them and go on and on about why they do and why they act like they do. Apparently, when I interviewed Dame Dash, he was a bit sensitive about the topic that I threw out, which was in reference to him.
Seemed like he was sensitive about everything.
It was
sensitive about walking into the building. What's wrong
Well,
with you this
I
morning?
mean, then that's what I mean. You know, when people have issues that run deep, you can't really judge that. You know what I'm saying? And as I've been in radio for a very long time, and I'm a professional, I'm experienced, and I take my job seriously. I don't take my job. I'm not a viral, I'm not a clout chaser. So I don't chase for viral moments. I don't chase for somebody wanting to be my friend. I just don't do that, because I've been in the business for too long. And I want my integrity to stand on what I do. And I want my relationships to stay solid. And I want people to know that I want people to respect me and what I do. And it's very difficult in a world that's built for men, for women to get that respect. I got where I got not because I sucked nobody's dick, not because I had sex with nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The right ones for that. Yeah.
No.
Drop them.
All these prostitutes out here.
Yeah.
And not because I dated anybody. That is not how I got you. I mean, I told you exactly how I got into business. You know what I'm saying? And I stuck with it, and I was consistent, and I learned along the way. And I've never had a man try to get with me. I've never had a man try to sleep with me. So when people say, you know, these men out here, they just don't respect women, and to get somewhere, we got to deal with this. I can't speak to other women's experience.
Right.
I believe what they say. It's not been my experience in radio. You know what I mean? It's not been my experience. So I to fast forward back to Dame Dash, I was not looking for a moment with Dame Dash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was having a conversation with Dame Dash. And he gave me permission to ask any question that I wanted. And apparently that question was a little sensitive. He got a little sensitive about it. And, you know, how dare you ask me that question? And I'm like, okay. And he walked out.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, his emotions were quite high when he walked out. I think every man at the radio station thought I was in danger, because everybody just convened on the studio. But I never felt in danger at one. I mean, he had a little Pikachu poodle with him. I never felt like I was in danger.
He had his K9 with him.
It would be different if I was in his house. You know, if I was in his studios, I may have felt some danger. But I was in my house, and as long as I'm in my house, I feel good. You know, and that's not the kind of interviews I do. That's not the kind of person I want to be. And sometimes, because people don't know me, they get it twisted. But that's understandable. If you don't know me, you know, you get to.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
ASAP. We've talked a lot about your accomplishments, the things that you've done since you were young, all the trophies and things like that. And when you coming up and you winning, you taking all these W's, coming out of college, you know, you doing everything and you winning a lot. And I remember hitting this, for myself personally, you feel like you hit a brick wall when you start taking L's. It's like I felt like when I got out of college and I got into the real world and I was trying to get stuff going, I couldn't get no traction, and I felt like I started taking L's. But those L's really helped me out a lot. They really helped to shape my perspective in the right ways. What's one of your biggest losses that you've taken that's really helped, you know, just really helped? Maybe it was a pivotal point in your life or something that's really helped you when you started to pick yourself back up.
Probably getting fired from my morning show gig in Birmingham, Alabama.
Was that the show with Ricky Smiley?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was me. Well, first it was me, a guy named Chris Coleman, and Ricky Smiley. Then Ricky Smiley left. It was called the Home Team Morning Show. So I was the female, Chris was the male, Ricky was the comedian. And Chris was like the anchor. I was the straight guy, and Ricky was the funny. And Chris left, and another guy came in by the name of B. Bryan. So it was me, B. Bryan, and Ricky. Then Ricky left because he, I think, had gotten a hosting gig with Comic View. I think he had gotten a hosting gig with Comic View. And so he left.
It was Lil Daryl.
Right. And then they brought in a guy named Sid Delaney to replace him. So it was me, B. Bryan, and Sid Delaney. And one day, the story is crazy as shit.
Let's listen to this.
At my my former radio station in Greensboro, North Carolina, my friend who still worked at the station called me and said, "Hey, are you leaving Birmingham?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm good. You know, everything's straight. Ratings, we #1, blah, 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 blah." She was like, "Well, somebody's coming to replace you who was working here." And I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh." She said, "Yeah, I think you need to talk to your program director." So I go to my program director and I say, "Hey, it's my understanding somebody coming to replace me." And I said, he was like, "Nah, that's not true. That deal hadn't even been done yet." I was like, okay. I said, "So there's a deal on the table." I said, "No, the deal's been done." I said, the deal has been done because she put in her 2-week notice already.
Right.
And I said, "So is that why, you know, the other radio station asked me if I wanted to do middays over there?" And he was like, "Oh, they talked to you about that? So what you say? You good?" And I was like, "Nah, it's not what I came here for, so I'm cool on that." And then that same day, I think I did like a goodbye show. And that's really a no-no in radio. And so I got fired the following day.
For
doing
the
the goodbye show.
Well, not necessarily for doing the goodbye show, but because there was nowhere else to go from that point for the station. And so the station had to cut its losses. You can't really have me on the radio after I've done a goodbye show. You know what I mean?
Like, you told the listeners this is my last day. I'm not
I told them
back.
I will no longer be with the station, and I took calls and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, they trying to say you quit on air?
No, they never said I quit on air. No.
They
because they knew they were getting rid of me. So, yeah.
Wow.
It's funny because the general manager that fired me just emailed me. Let me see. That was about a little over 10 years ago. The general manager just emailed me to do a commercial for a new station that he's working at.
Wow. Are you gonna do it?
I told him I would if the price was right, and I sent them my rate, and they never contacted me back. So.
And this is the same one that fired you.
Yeah.
So after that happened, what was the process of you getting back on your feet? Like, was it a job waiting for you? Did you leave Alabama? Like, what happened after that?
No, I was out of work for maybe 5 years.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. I was out of work for a long time because I didn't really know what to do. So I moved to Memphis with my boyfriend, who is now my husband. Stayed with him for a little while. He got me on at a Memphis radio station. Did that on the weekends. Then helped him run his record store for a little while, very little while. Then I started feeling useless. I started feeling like I didn't have an identity anymore. And so I decided to move back home to Houston. And, you know, you got to run back to mama when things go bad. Nobody make you feel good like mama. So I ran back home to my mama, moved in with my mom, and try to get myself stabilized, figure out what I was going to do, kind of rebuild myself. I was looking for jobs in Houston. I was looking for jobs everywhere in radio. And then I thought maybe I should move into TV. So I started looking for TV jobs. Nothing was hitting on anything, nothing at all. And then I was just like, forget it. I'm going to just moved to L.A.
Just randomly, I'm about to go to L.A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching the Oscars.
Wow.
It was a February, and I was watching the Oscars. I think I had lost my job in the summertime, so now it was wintertime. And I was watching the Oscars, and I was like, why am I sitting here in my mama bed at home watching the Oscars? And so I got in my car, packed all my little stuff. I had very little stuff. And I moved to L.A.
Wow.
I moved to L.A.
And got to rapping, and that's how it happened.
Got to rapping.
So you look okay. So and I know too. When you got here, right? You was doing. Was it like fill-ins and stuff like that on KJLH before you actually got the job, or how did that work?
I didn't start working at KJLH until 3 years after I moved to LA.
3 years later.
So it wasn't like I moved to LA and I had a job waiting for me. But a lot of people think that about me.
Right.
Because they see me today.
Yeah.
And some people know my history of radio and that kind of thing. And they just put one and one together, but it just doesn't equal to the two that they want it to equal to.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, she did radio in Birmingham and then she moved to LA and did radio. That's not. I went to every radio station in LA and every one of them turned me down. I remember, let me tell you what I did. I sent one shoe before I moved to LA. I sent one shoe to every station here that I wanted to work at. I didn't even know about KJLH. I didn't know that KJLH existed. I sent it to Power. I sent it to K-Day. I sent it to, at the time, The Beat. I really, really wanted to work at The Beat.
Who was at The Beat then?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey was there?
Steve Harvey was there.
Was Theo there then? No?
He was there when I was trying to get a job there. He was there.
Okay.
Then The Wave.
I remember, dang, The Wave. They don't even do it. The Wave exists? Still?
The Wave's still here.
What's the station?
Nobody listening to it.
I don't even remember. I know my grandparents used to listen to it.
94.7 The Wave.
There we go.
There it is. There it is. That's the name of
So
it.
I sent one shoe to all of those program directors, and I think I sent a shoe to Big Boy too. And I told him, just trying to get my foot in the door. And I scheduled me an appointment to meet with each one of them. So I was like, hey, let me think of one of the program directors' names. I think Robert Scorpio was one of them. And I was like, hey, Scorpio, it's Tammi Mac. I'll be in L.A. Monday at 11 a.m. to come by and see you to talk about opportunities at the Beat. If you have any issue with it, call me and let me know. If you don't have an issue with it, I'll see you on Monday at 11 a.m.
That's a good tactic.
Yeah, because nobody's ever going to call you. They don't return phone calls. They don't return. And I had a sales associate in Birmingham told me I make my own appointments. I don't allow them to make appointments for me. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She was like, I call people and I say, hey, I'm going to meet you at 12. If you have a problem with that, call me and let me know. Wow. And I started using that tactic.
Oh, yeah,
and so I got to meet
mental notes, buddy.
I got to meet with every program director that I scheduled a meeting with the exception of, I think his name is Jimmy Steele, who was at Power. Jimmy Steele was at Power. So I went to his office at 11 a.m. that morning, and the receptionist was like, oh, he's busy right now. He can't come or whatever. And then she came back and she was like, oh, he said that, he's going to be unable to meet you today. I said, okay, can I schedule another appointment? He said he'll give you a call. And so I got ready to walk to my car, and I felt defeated. And I said, you know what? Hold on. I went to the back of my trunk, and I got the matching shoe that I had sent him. And I went back upstairs, and I told the receptionist, do you mind giving him this shoe? I think he has my other one. And the receptionist looked at the shoe and was like,
Wait, hold on.
Hold on a minute.
Wait.
You said you was sending shoes. You were talking about real shoes.
Yeah.
Why
Real
was
shoes.
you was sending them shoes?
Sending them shoes. I was sending them shoes, and attached to the shoe was, I'm trying to get my foot in the door.
Wow.
That's sick right there.
That's crazy.
That's dope right there.
Battery die.
Yeah. So okay. That's what she was talking about from the beginning. I was gonna ask her to stop and explain to the listeners what the shoe, when she said shoe, what it entailed.
That's wow. I remember Andre Russell had a story about the Mac attack or the Big Mac.
For Andre, I think I sent him.
Where did you get that from? What made you think to do that?
I don't know.
Wow.
I just come up.
Pretty dope. I like that. That's it.
I just come up with ways to stand out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People say I do the most. People say I do too much, and I say they're right.
That's because they scared.
You supposed
They're
to.
right. I'm never embarrassed or humiliated by much, and so for me to fail at something, it doesn't really do. Like, I'm not really fazed by it. Like, maybe a moment of disappointment if I had grand expectations. But other than that, I always feel good at the fact that I tried. I did it that way. And some things I kept doing, and I was too stubborn to stop. And I found out when I stopped, a different way was the answer. And I just didn't want to believe that another way would work, even though the way I was doing it didn't work.
Wow. That's deep, man.
But yeah, I sent shoes. I think I sent Andre a McDonald's package, because McDonald's bags don't say McDonald's. They just have the big M on it.
Uh-huh.
So what I did was I sent a bag, and it had the big M on it, and I attached a sticker with an AC inside of the M, because it's a big M.
Yeah.
So inside of that M, I put AC. So it was a Mac, and I sent a bag and a whole package where my stuff looked like McDonald's, and I think my tagline was you'll love it, or I don't know. I don't remember what the tagline was for that, but I had like a I'm loving it tagline. I just don't remember what it was.
That's it.
That's crazy. Like.
And then I had, before I was Mac, I was just McCall, and
McCall is okay. That's
and so I sent my previous program director a telephone, and the telephone had a recording in it that said "Call on McCall." And so once he clicked the button, you could hear "Call on McCall. I'm the one you want," and I got that job, because that was a job with Ricky Smiley.
So wait.
So here, all this time, I'm sending resumes. Yeah. You sending shoes and Big Macs and shit like that. I'm doing this the wrong way.
This who you going up against?
Yeah, she coming in with shoes and Big Macs.
jobs.
I'm sending resumes.
She sending them phones. Don't call me. I'm gonna call you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's my phone.
Make sure you call.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Same program director will call me and press the play button. He still has that phone. He'll press the play button and let me hear my recording.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah, no, that's pretty dope. So look, I gotta
Yeah, that's crazy.
we were speaking on Bag Lady earlier, right?
Oh, yes.
And
gotta ask about that.
oh yeah, come on, man. You know, I always do my homework.
It's kind of hard to ask about Bag Lady if you haven't seen it, though. But I'll see what I can do.
Oh, okay. Better yet, I'll see. Let's say this. I'll ask you questions from an interview that I saw when you were speaking about Bag Lady.
Okay.
Right. So you explain where Bag Lady came about, and basically you and your homegirl, your friend. That wasn't Robbie, was it? You had a friend named Robbie too, right?
I made mention of several friends in Bag Lady.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
In this interview, you were saying, you would say, okay, I went through this with Johnny, and then your homegirl would say, okay, she went through this with Donovan.
We got the clip.
We
gonna run the clip.
Okay, well, say no more then.
We're gonna run the clip.
Just go ahead and play the clip. You gotta listen to the clip close. I'm sure you know what you said. Though.
Yeah, if it was true, I remember what I said.
Okay,
But
got
if I lied, I might not remember.
Say no more. Say no more.
So that's kind of how the show came about. Me and my best friend Michelle, who I talk about in the show, we were on a plane from Houston to Los Angeles, and we were talking about the men in our lives. And I was like, ooh, girl, remember when Tyrone did this to me? And she was like, well, what about when Jerome did this to me? And I was like, well, what about when Flav did this to me? And she was like, well, what about when? And we were laughing.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
She said Tyrone, and then that was Flav. What Flav is that? That's a different Flav than what I'm thinking of?
What flavor?
Oh, that's a random name.
What flavor are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of.
I only know one Flav.
I only know one Flav.
Who? What Flav? Y'all know?
With the
Flavor
clock,
Flav.
Flavor Flav.
Oh, Flavor Flav. No,
He-
not Flavor Flav. No.
Oh,
I think I even say in the play, not Flavor Flav.
Not that's why she said what she said. I had to just make sure it wasn't Flavor Flav. I didn't know if she was walking around with a mini clock with him too. I didn't know what was going on.
Many clocks.
Yeah,
Not
understood.
Flavor Flav.
Understood. And then too, so I had to make sure of that, right? I saw,
Yeah, I've never really been like a groupie.
Understood.
I've been in, I mean, keep in mind, I've been in radio since I was 15 years old. And I've seen a lot.
Everybody.
And I've had a lot of male role models when it comes to radio
Yep.
who kind of kept me away from that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons they kept me away from it was so that I wouldn't have this reputation attached to my work.
Understood.
And so I'm very appreciative of that because there certainly would be a reputation attached to my work were I out there like that.
Yeah.
And I never was out there like that. And so could have been. I've been in radio for a long time.
Right.
I could have slept with a many a men.
Right.
With names and
Yeah.
clout. Yeah.
Understood. And let me ask you, in the beginning of the show, right, we had the clip, and you was just explaining to, you going to the Fresh Fest with your homegirls.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed too, you went on a tour. I'm not sure it was you hosted a tour. Was it it was a hip hop tour?
I don't. Yeah, I've hosted a lot of stuff, so probably yeah.
Okay, that I don't know. Was I think is this the same tour I'm referring to? Because I seen you on. Was that what was that the Pawn Stars? What show was that?
Oh, I was on Beverly Hills Pond.
There we
but
go.
I signed a non-disclosure, so I can't really talk about any of that.
Okay, say no
Yeah.
more. Okay, no questions. Okay, so we're not talking about that, right? So, but you can't discuss the tour or nothing like that, could you?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't discuss any because of the non-disclosure. I can't
Okay.
discuss that episode at all.
Understood. I
Yeah.
respect that. We won't even touch that right there. I just, on to the next one. I seen that. I was like, ooh, yeah, that was a cool episode right there.
Yeah, everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know.
Yeah,
Peace and love.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was some luck. You seen that?
Man.
Yeah.
Peace and love. All right.
You got a birthday coming up, huh?
I do.
Yeah.
What's the plan for your birthday?
I have none.
No plan.
Why?
Nope.
I feel like you Tammi Mac out here in these streets. I say that on the radio all the time.
You do.
You
You hype me up more than I'm like.
No,
the-
you-
the
but you
hype-
don't-
you out hype me.
But Tammi, you don't understand, like, and you can speak to this too. Being from the city,
Yep.
growing up, I've always wanted to, be in radio, be in entertainment. I grew up looking at Big Boy and Kevin Nash and all of these guys, right? So we don't have too many people in the city. Although it's LA, we don't have too many black men that we can look at and be like, man, I want to do that when I get older. Outside of the Lakers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So to be a black woman on the radio in LA, it's so many black girls. There's so many young black, so many neighborhoods that's looking at you, whether you see it or not. Man, it's very pertinent. My mom she works at a high school, and so many young girls, when they get out, they listen to the Tammi Mac show.
Oh, wow.
When my mama get in the car, she listens to the Tammi Mac show. You know what I'm saying? So it's so important for the
Well,
city.
tell her if she want me to talk to the girls. I'm more than willing to do that.
Oh, really?
I go to the high school.
Okay, that ain't what I was going, but that'll work too.
Absolutely.
Right.
But my thing is, we see the trajectory of where you going, right? I say you the West Coast Wendy. I think you bigger than Wendy because Wendy, you more positive.
I'm not. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I couldn't put you in the same mind frame as Wendy.
Yeah, it's on a
Well,
different
thank
level.
you. I appreciate that.
There we have it. It's definitely a compliment coming from me for sure.
Yeah.
when I say that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we can't. Nah, we can't do that at all.
But my question to you is, what advice would you give to young women trying to come up in this game?
The advice I give all the time is to learn everything. Because the last thing you want to be is talent. Because after your talent can only take you so far. And then once you start as a woman, start losing your looks, start losing your ass, start losing your titties, start sagging. And the next young, pretty, vibrant thing comes up, you will slowly be transitioned on out of the game. And that's whether you're in radio or television or movies, and only so many older women will survive that game. But the ones who know it all, who learn it all, and who make a calculated decision to be more than talent are the ones that last.
Understood.
So you have to be able, like, I don't share this much at the station because I feel like when people know you can do stuff, they ask you to do stuff. So
Man, she giving y'all game right now, man.
But I can look, I can work Pro Tools. I can work the SAW, which I don't even know if y'all know what that is, but Dr. Dre used to work the SAW. So I could do the SAW, Pro Tools, Adobe. I can run the board with my eyes closed behind my back like Kid Capri on the turntables. I can edit video, and I can do it all in a matter of minutes. So I'm not just talking on the mic. I can handle, when you say I did a one-woman show, I can handle being a one-woman show no matter what position you put me in. I'm going to make sure, and it's going to all be done excellently.
Yeah. So it's not a coincidence. It wasn't, this position wasn't given to you. Like we just talked about earlier, it was an 8-year span from you losing the job in Alabama to coming to LA to getting a job. So it hasn't been easy. It ain't been no cakewalk. So for people looking at it,
longevity is never easy. Longevity is never easy, and the problem that the mistake that people make is thinking that that when they have these get rich quick schemes, whatever that may be, that moment is never gonna go away.
Exactly.
Moments only last just for that time.
Exactly.
The moment.
Exactly.
And so what's your longevity game? And people for some reason don't think they're going to live a long time. That's the only thing I can assume. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, if you're not thinking about your future, then you don't think you're going to live a long time. But
that speaks to a lot of brothers, man. So if you jeopardizing your freedom, your life, if you just here for the flash in the pan, you must not think you're going to live for a long time. That's
you can't possibly think you're going to live for a long time if you're living for today. You know what I'm saying? If you live for today, then you don't think you're going to live past today.
That's real.
And I'm not saying focus on the future. What I'm saying is you want to be in the game for the long haul.
Right.
You don't want to be in the game for just a short span. I mean, there are so many celebrities and names that we don't even remember who used to be the shit back when. And we look at them now and we turn our noses up at them. But that's exactly what people want to be today. You know, they want to be this person who pops up and becomes famous all of a sudden without ever thinking that it's going to end. And it is going to end. People who were famous 20 years ago are not famous today.
That's true.
And people who are famous today will not be famous 20 years from today. And I don't mean, like, of course you have legends, but that's what I mean when I say longevity.
Yep.
You know, the legends are those who put in the work for a long time so that it could sustain itself. So if you're not putting in the work, you can be guaranteed one thing, and that's you will not sustain it.
Hey.
Because you can't sustain what you don't do.
That's a fact.
This is facts.
Yeah.
All gems, man.
It was so, that you got a point, because too, and that's so crazy that you said that, because I didn't even realize how long you was working at KJLH.
I don't even know how long I worked.
You was working at KJLH longer than I knew. You had the show with
the backseat?
Is it Don Amici?
Mac and Amici.
Well,
that was just a year ago.
But I seen clips from that much longer. That was uploaded.
Don Amici and I were together for 9 years.
9.
And before Don Amici, I had my own radio show at KJLH. So me being on in the afternoons is not new. It's not a new thing that KJLH has tried.
Right.
I had my own show called The Back Seat from 7 to midnight at KJLH for probably 4 years before Don Amici even came into consideration.
And that's my point. This whole time, like she said, all of that's been groundwork. All of that's been work that people don't even get to see. We, like you said earlier, we only get to see the fruits of the labor. We only get to see you here. We only get to see Tammi Mac on FoxSoul, or you see Tammi Mac, or you hear her on the radio KJLH. But you forget that. I think the younger generation forget because we in the popcorn era, bro.
Right.
You put it in the microwave, it's ready to go, it's over with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They forget that you really have to put in work to get to anywhere you need to get to, or anywhere you want to go to in life. You cannot bypass
have to do
the
the
work.
also to be good at what you're doing.
Right.
Like you can't.
Right.
I don't know how you can do something for a day and be good at it.
And be good. Right.
I don't even care if you are just a natural born talent.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're a natural born talent, you can be better.
Still got to practice.
Yeah.
Put the work in.
You still have to put work in it. Like to this day, to this day, I read. This is how I used to practice reading. On, like, I've always envisioned myself on television or on the radio, and.
Wait, you saying you reading for like auditions and stuff?
No.
Reading in general?
I'm saying reading in general.
Okay.
How I practice my reading skills is today I could do it on any station, but back then it was the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel has a scroll at the bottom of the channel.
Right.
And I would read and follow that scroll. To this day, I read and follow the Weather Channel scroll. So either if it's CNN or sometimes I'll put my my television on closed caption. And I'll turn the volume down and I will read the closed caption because it helps me in cold reads. It also helps me if the caption goes dead to figure out what I'm going to do when the caption goes dead. So I'm like, literally, I do that probably once or twice a week.
That's incredible. Because when you're in front of the teleprompter doing your thing, it could be chaos.
Yeah, the prompter could just flat out cut out.
Yeah, and
then what do you do?
Exactly. And I've seen you just hold it together. Like your microphone fall out, your heel break or something. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and it's like it's showtime.
Yeah. So I practice every day, whatever it might be that I need to practice. I have a lot of jobs right now.
Yeah.
So it's been a little more difficult. It's been a little more difficult.
Well, having jobs is a good thing.
It's been a little more difficult to practice outside of the jobs, but I feel like the jobs themselves are a hell of a practice. Because you do something every day, you have no choice but to get better, unless you just think you're the greatest and you don't do and try new things and try to fail at whatever it may be. I've learned a lot of stuff on my talk show already about how to handle things and how to be better at it. I look at myself and every night after those shows and say, okay, you need to stop doing that. I smack a lot on the talk show. And I'm like, why am I smacking all the time? Like, why? Like I'm talking, girl, and let me tell you, and I'm like, why am I smacking? And so but I've never had a television show every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been on TV every single night of the week. And so I didn't know that I was smack once I had my own talk show.
Right.
So now I have to figure out how to stop smacking, you know, how to, because it's obviously subconscious in my brain.
Yeah.
So I have to remind myself, don't smack. Read the teleprompter at the same time, listen to them in my ear at the same time and say, don't smack. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
But it seems like you just always willing to learn, to grow, you seem like very adaptable. Like whatever's going on, okay, I need to learn how to do this. Okay, I'll get with that. I need to get better at that. I'll do that. Like you're always just growing, just learning, just doing. So that's what's up, man.
If you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not growing, then that means you're dying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
If you're not growing,
right.
you are dying.
Right. Man. I pride myself on not knowing everything, because if I don't know everything, then that means I can learn something every day.
Yeah.
You can't learn none if you swear you know every.
You be spitting it, man. I don't know where you get it from, man.
Y'all crazy.
Two niggas in L.A., man.
Come on,
how you get niggas in L.A., baby? You already know what it is. But that's where it comes from.
I love it.
You dig what I'm saying? You know.
Listen, man. We Tammi, we want to thank you for pulling up.
Sure, most definitely.
We following everything you doing. We supporting it.
Thank you.
Kjlh in these streets. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever need some muscle or something, you let us know.
I will let you know for sure.
To have the streets locked
Please
down.
roll up.
You know
right.
But we always try to lead people. Bro always close it out with something positive. We try to lead people with something. I think the silver lining in your story, man, is just the perseverance and the you just always working. You got to keep working regardless of what the situation is, and you got to keep your eye on the prize. What it seems like. So if you can get the people your handles, we're gonna try to get you to 10,000.
Yeah, I got.
You know what I'm saying? Your followers. You got to get your followers up.
9146.
9146.
Okay,
got
so we
9,146. I need to get my 10K. I need to get my K up there.
Did they give you your blue check?
No, they haven't given me my blue
Man,
check,
y'all
but I
need to
haven't.
stop
I haven't.
Yeah, we
I
working
haven't
on that,
requested
man.
it either.
Okay, you got to get blue checked up.
Yeah,
though,
you
man.
supposed to have your blue check for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me see if Fox got a little pull.
Yeah, they gotta do something
for sure.
I don't even think FoxSoul got their blue check.
All right, man. Well, Tammi, if you can give them something positive, give them your handles again so they can get you, to 10K. And, after that.
Get Tammi to 10K. That's a challenge.
At the Tammi Mac Show. At the Tammi Mac Show. Tammi with an I. TAMMIMAC. The Tammi Mac Show. And I think it's a picture of my boobs up there.
Okay, sure enough.
I am still a woman.
Understood.
Yes, indeed.
Oh man,
What you gonna leave him with, man?
For me, bro, you know what? I don't really have too much to follow up with, but the obvious, what she said, man. To me, it's 3 keys: time, patience, and persistence, man. You got to stay working, Sometimes we have a plan or an outlook on how we want our life to turn out, or how, the path we want to take to get to wherever we want to get to. Sometimes the path don't always go as planned. All you have to do is know you're going to get there and put in the work. You might not know how you're going to get there, but just put in the work and you believe in yourself and believe in what you do, then you will get there. You just got to put in all the work. Second thing is, I learned this from Mark Cuban, man. Pretty much said, take something what you like to do, you master it, and then you make a living out of it.
Peace and love.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need a business, you don't need a business loan, you don't need nothing. You just take what you like to do, you master it, and you create it out of it.
And in order to master it, you got to work every day.
She said she gave the key
Every
to you.
day.
It's
That's
practice.
Every day.
Practice makes perfect.
That's
Kobe
it.
went to practice. Jordan went to practice.
They stayed at practice after practice.
After
what-
practice and before
Exactly.
I
practice.
don't
that's
know if
why-
I'm practicing
You
that
did.
hard. I got to stay to practice after practice.
Right. He was in there before
I don't want to
practice
be
and
that
after.
great. I'm already beating these niggas. I got to beat them some more.
Right.
Fact.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me, man. I just want to say thank you again for coming down.
No,
'Cause
thank you
most-
both for having me today.
We appreciate it because you definitely didn't have to come down here. And, hopefully a year or two from now, she checking us out and we got a blue check and she's seeing what we got going on. And,
I already see what y'all got going on.
But still,
I already see.
Hopefully it should be, ain't no hope.
No, ain't no hope.
No hope. We not using
It is
hope.
what it is, and it is what it's going to be.
There we have it.
Dope.
Dude. There we have it.
2 niggas in L.A.
There we
Yeah.
Come on, man. Y'all hit it on the nail, man. You heard
Feel
what
me?
she said.
I gotta
man.
go out right, man. Cause this
Come
is
on,
my
man.
favorite song.
Yeah, go ahead,
So
well,
if
turn
you-
it up.
If you listening, all the ladies, I'm gonna be good to you. You feel me?
There you go.
There it is, man. Peace and Love Podcast. We see y'all tomorrow, man. Take it easy.